Hello and welcome back to a new episode of Time for You. My name is Shailia Stevens, coming to you from right around the corner from Frankfurt am Main in Germany. And I'm with my beautiful friend and colleague, Lea Wernli in Zurich, Switzerland. Hi, Lea.
Hi.
So we are recording today on the 27th of December, 2024. And so we've just finished almost the month of December, had the whole Christmas thing. And Leah and I were just meeting before the podcast episode. And Leah, we spoke for pretty much an hour, catching up on what's going on in Leah's life, what's going on in my life, and how was your Christmas and so forth. And it was so interesting because what Leah did not tell me was that she was sitting in front of the fire and had a hot cocoa, and the tree lights were blinking, and everything was relaxed. And I also did not tell her that. Um, we both had one hell of a December. And we we're not going to talk about details. A lot of the things that happened in the month of December were just private, meaning they were involving people we love, our friends, our family, our clients. And a lot of the situations that we were confronted with in that time were kind of alarming, bits of emergencies, medical situations, existential life situations, just full on craziness. You wouldn't believe. I told Leah you couldn't write a book about this December, and as she was telling me her version of December, I was just sitting there with my jaw on the floor and vice versa. And I'm like, oh my goodness. You wouldn't believe, okay, this is what happened here. And the interesting thing is that both Leah and myself, we're in such a good mood. We're in such a good internal grounded space. And we were throughout all of December, despite
Mhm.
all of the things that were happening. And we can talk about that. Yes, Leah?
Yes. Yes, we will.
Yeah. And so, yeah, Leah. So what is there to talk about that? Go ahead. Yeah.
I don't know. When you were talking, I just thought maybe, there are a million different views on how life should be, or how life is, or how life should look, or what's a good life, or whatever. Every person on earth has probably their own take on that. But what I just saw when you were speaking is this, yeah, either you can go out and try to change it on the outside. Like it has to be good, it has to be the perfect December, to have a perfect Christmas, to whatever. Or somehow there is another perspective to really be with whatever is, and to calibrate yourself in it, and not even, it doesn't have to be always like really aware, but it's kind of like a how to be in life, a not even a philosophy, but more of a state, probably.
Hmm.
And that's that just came to mind. Like both of us had really this strange and crazy, and also mm, even events who could make you depressed or anxious, when you
Terrified.
terrified, when you look, like from this narrative of that something can cause you a feeling, and to be in that, and to just really feel it deep in your bones that it's possible to be okay no matter what. That's so incredible liberating in a way.
Mm.
And it there is a strength in it, and it's not me being strong. It's the faith in, oh, that's how it really works, or it works for me at the moment. And and I'm able to relay on that no matter what. That's so cool. So it's not doing, it's really in the being, and to navigate from there, and not n- I don't have to have figuring it out
Yeah.
before, but I just know, yeah, whatever life is throwing at me, or is around me, or uh, with the people I love and care about, I'm able to navigate that.
Yeah.
There will be a good idea. There will be enough um, help. There will be a solution. There will be um, enough love. Whatever comes up in these situations, and that's so relaxing
Mm.
in a way that it even did lift my mood even more. In, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like throughout this December and all these really crazy things, I just could feel the faith s- deepen even.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I feel that when you talk about it, Leah. And what I was just thinking as you were talking was there's something about, as for me in December, was this moment by moment, you know, my my in,
Hmm.
my
Hmm.
internet is looking a little unstable again, but hopefully it sticks, Leah.
Hmm.
It was like just this realization that life is a moment to moment game. If a
Hmm.
and a ball that's getting thrown at you in this moment, at this very moment, here it is, hit you right in the head. And you,
Hmm.
you, yeah, and you feel that hit. You do. It's not like we're immune to the balls that are
Hmm.
coming our way. You have thinking about it for a moment. You have a feeling about it for a moment. And then I love what you said about recalibration. And you can feel within yourself, are you having uh, an insecure experience, a scary experience, a frustrated experience, an overwhelming experience, whatever it is at that moment that you're feeling, and
Hmm.
also asking yourself that simple question that we're always looking at is like, okay, where am I right now? I for a moment,
Hmm.
I for a moment just got hit with a ball in the head. Okay, I'm feeling that. So I have a choice. I can go with that fear, that frustration. I can run with it like for a long time if I want to. I can put my attention on it, or
Hmm.
I can come back. And for me, the words that are coming up for me in that, Leah, is where I've been looking in the last year is like my most important relationship that I see, at least in this moment of my life, is my relationship with my thoughts, my relationships with my inner spirit. Those are the two,
Hmm.
relationships that are
Hmm.
top of mind. And
Hmm.
I go back there and I'm like, all right, if that's my most important relationship, then my relationship to my thoughts are going to be, I'm not going to gallop away with them if I can. And and I'm going to look for my inner wisdom. I'm going to look for my inner clarity. I'm going to look for my inner calmness, my inner peace of mind. That's my spiritual relationship, right? And I'm going to take a moment to just recalibrate to that. Because when I'm there in that good relationship with my inner being and I'm not galloping off with my experience, then so much opens up. And I heard you say that as well. Like there's gonna be love there. There's
Yeah.
gonna be the next best idea there, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I found myself doing all month is just remembering no matter what is going on, no matter what balls I'm getting pelted with, I'm looking to the relationship with my thinking and I'm looking to the relationship with my inner spirit. And that's
Mm.
and that's how I'm recalibrating back to a better feeling, hope, like you said, like,
Mm-hmm.
and all of that. So yeah, Leah, what are you hearing in that?
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I love that so much. And somehow what happens or what I heard, you didn't say that, but what I heard is when you recalibrate with both of that, you're able to feel that you're caught up in your thinking probably because we know mm, it feels draining and anxious and um, somehow whatever kind of feeling that isn't like peaceful and in the moment. So we are even able to feel that and just be with that without taking the thinking that serious, or to be able to wake up to the thinking that accompanies the feeling.
Yeah,
So, and we don't have to run away from whatever hits us. So it hits, oh, and maybe it hurts for a moment, but there is less suffering. So we don't have to really go deep into the stories and the suffering around an event or a thing or a person or an illness. So it's just there and we feel whatever we feel and we can come back to the moment and in the moment and being present. And you describe it as being with this inner or higher self and you feel that. For me, it's more like being present in a way to
yeah,
that. I don't I I don't have it in a like relationship way, or I
yeah,
don't feel it that way. I feel it through presence and love. And if I feel compassion for myself or the other person again, I know, oh, back. Like it's like a click, like, oh yeah, here I'm back
mm,
again. So when I heard what you were saying, it was like coming back to aliveness, to being alive in that moment, because that's all we have. Even when there is a ball
yeah.
that w- was thrown at
Thrown,
us. How do you
th-
say that?
when a ball was
Thrown at
thrown at
us.
us, yeah.
Mm.
Hmm.
That's a difficult word. So when a ball is thrown at us, that's the life. That is it at that moment.
Yeah,
So to come back to the aliveness in that moment means we engage with life. We're fully in it, and then it gets rich again. So even the outcome starts to be less important because what's kind of a strange thing, we can do it right in a way. We can be present and in life and loving and creative and feeling whatever we need to feel, like the anger or sadness, and let it through our body and do everything in kind of the right way.
yeah,
And it doesn't mean that the outcome is going to be the way our head, ego, ideas about life, um, that it's going to be that way.
yeah,
That's that's not a given. And that's a bit strange and maybe even um, at the beginning it doesn't make a lot of sense. But that's what I heard. You start to see that you already have it. you're already there. It's already in the richness of being alive
Yeah.
and not so much on the outcome.
Yeah.
Because all the stories we had, like in this December, even now, we really, on each of these stories we were talking about, and I mean, no joke, there were like 10 really effed up things going on in each of our lives. Not not even now we are sure if they're going to be okay in the sense of that's a good outcome.
Yeah.
More money or less fight or
Better
not
health.
dying or better health. No, we don't know. But what we know is we have found a way. We have found principles who describe this experience and to live by them or see them deeper or see them in action that that gives us more lightness and grace through this really strange and we don't have
A clue.
a we don't know if what's going on but it's still rich and alive and bright during all of what's going on in our lives. And
Yeah.
that's incredible.
That is incredible, Leah. And
Hmm.
I love that you just said that. Absolutely. Like the outcomes are not the thing. And what thank God. And and what I just heard when you were talking about being engaged in the aliveness. So in all of the stories that we were sharing, I'm going to use a different word. I'm going to say we were leaning into the situation. So
Yeah.
even though
Yes.
even though we weren't going with our worried thinking or whatever the thing, we were being in the present moment. There was a lot to do. I mean, I heard Leah organizing
Mm-hmm.
things. I heard Leah having important, meaningful conversations with her husband about something important. I heard about both of us getting in our car and driving hours away in the middle of the night or during the day, whatever, to 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 show up for somebody else. I heard conversations being had, like, just there was a lot happening, that where we were
Mm-hmm.
we were leaning into that moment by moment play in life and responding with
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times
Mm-hmm.
an action, an actual doing, an actual
Yes.
participation, in the movement of what was going on, in an attempt to move things into a more healthy space, a more sane place. So I think that's important to note, Leah, because sometimes, we're thinking about being all zen in the moment, like we're just sitting there meditating. And you might do that. You might have the internal wisdom to do that sometimes, but in this game of life, we're also we have that opportunity to participate and lean into these circumstances and bring our
Yeah.
common sense, bring our best ideas, bring our biggest love. Like whenever I heard you talking, Leah, about when you
Mm.
when you drove in the middle of the night with someone to go see someone, or when I drove 2 hours to a city I'd never been to, like all that,
Mm.
we were showing up with our biggest love in that situation, with our
Mm-hmm.
time and our attention to the people we cared about. And that is possible in the chaos, or
Mm-hmm.
of the balls pelting us
Mm-hmm.
all around,
Yeah.
right?
Totally. And what I really would love to share with you guys out there and the listeners, it's possible in the everyday life as well. Because somehow we're all of us are quite good in the emergencies.
Hmm.
But actually, like all these things in the December, they were like strange and emergencies and not emergencies and whatever. But also that's possible with the everyday things
Yeah.
when it's about us or I hate Excel Excel-Tabellen. What's that?
Excel
What is
spreadsheets,
Excel-Tabelle?
Excel spreadsheets.
I hate, yes, and I get really crazy nuts about them, and I really don't like them, and I get angry sometimes if I have to do something. And even then, just to remember, oh, I was caught up in thinking about it, and I can come back to what is, what do I have to do now? What do I want to do now?
Mm,
And and just this ongoing somehow it is an exercise, ongoing exercise of feeling, where am I? And oh no, not there. Okay, but leaning into life. Oh, and and it's really what I heard you describe as well is this less thinking, more being in life,
yeah,
and then just really do what occurs from moment to moment to moment.
yeah,
And I'm I don't give that much about my intellect anymore or the very important deep thinking the way I used to.
mm,
That doesn't mean that I do not worship some um that I'm able to think or to see or to even be logical from time to time, but I really feel the difference. I feel the difference around thinking and thinking.
mm,
And that's so cool.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, totally. And just what's also occurring to me is in all of it too, I'm going to ask you because this is what I was feeling in December. In all of what was going on and all of the navigating, the calibrating, the leaning in, I also had a feeling when to take care of myself, you know? Just like
Mm.
moments when I just
Yeah,
knew I need to go down to the basement and spend a couple hours down there by myself and just sleep or just scroll the internet for a bit, just get back to myself. Or
yeah,
I had feeling like, now is a good time to take a 2 hour walk with the dogs. Just get out, be by myself, Rick, come back to that silent place, like do whatever I need to do to
mm.
take care of
Hmm.
myself, you know? Did you have that as well, Leah?
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. And that was so cool. I went away for one night.
Mm.
I really it was a lot I had to do at home as well, and my husband and myself, we just saw an opportunity, and he was like, "Yeah, take it, go." And I booked a hotel room just across the border and on Bodensee, Lake
Mm.
Boden. How do you call it?
Lake
Yeah,
Constance, Lake
and
Constance.
yeah, I Lake Constance, and I was away for one night and a day, and I walked and I was sitting outside in the sun. And yeah, I had exactly the same as you had. I really took good care of myself.
Yeah.
I slept a lot. I did eat well. I was like um taking care of myself. And that's a huge change.
Yeah.
Like from before, I I couldn't feel that when a couple of years ago that good.
Yeah.
And now it's like nothing is going to happen if I'm not there for a couple of hours or even a night. So that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. It's totally
Hmm.
yeah, that people say self-care around it, but
Hmm.
actually we have it built into ourselves to we feel when we
Hmm.
need a break from the situation. We feel when we need to set a boundary for ourselves to deal with the situation better. For me, a lot of times it would have been hard for me to show up as strongly and energetically as I did if I hadn't have known when just to take a
Mm,
step back, and be and take care of myself. And
mm-hmm,
I I love
mm-hmm,
we're having this conversation, Leah, because guys who are just listening today, I did not post one single thing about any of these situations on social media. I can't. They're private. I didn't write it in a newsletter. I didn't tell anybody about it. Leah, you're probably the first person I spoke with about it the whole of December. Um, and just so you
me
guys
too.
know, you guys know too, like we so many people are going through so much similar things a lot of the times, and we're not seeing that in the outside world. That's not our highlight reel that we're putting
Mm,
out into the world. So it's kind of also a little nod. We see you, we feel you, we know it's just life.
mm-hmm,
It's just life. Yeah.
mm-hmm. Yeah. And you're doing great.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
doing wonderful. Leah's doing
Mm,
wonderful. I'm doing
mm,
wonderful. You're doing great
mm,
outside.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leah, did you want to
Mm-hmm.
add anything or does that feel?
Yeah. So thank you. No, it does feel complete. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we hope that you heard something in there in our crazy month of December. And we hope you'll listen in again. Just follow us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Share the podcast with a friend. Sharing is caring, sharing is growing. And we hope to see you soon on the next
Mm-hmm.
episode of Time for You. Till then, bye bye.
Bye. Bye.